Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing every single form of the Overlord that exists throughout Ninjago's lore, history, and story. The Overlord has got to be one of my favorite Ninjago villains, and because of his recent appearance in Ninjago Crystallized, I thought it would be a lot of fun to go throughout the entire Ninjago saga and showcase every single form this guy has taken on. The Overlord obviously has a lot of different forms, a lot more than any other Ninjago villain that we've ever seen, and these designs vary heavily from one another, making the Overlord kind of a fun character to talk about. In today's video, my goal is to simply go through every single form that the Overlord has taken throughout Ninjago's run, and again, maybe talk for a bit about each one, give my personal thoughts on them, stuff like that. We do have quite a few different forms to get through though. I counted at least 15, and with that being said, there is a high chance that I missed a couple here and there, you know, some of the smaller scale ones. And if that's the case, feel free to let me know in the comments which ones I'm missing, but I think I got them all, so without further ado, let's take a look at every single form of the Overlord throughout Ninjago's run. Alright, so starting things off, we have the Overlord's ancient form, which appears in various flashbacks throughout Season 2. This thing is very monstrous, very intimidating looking, kind of like the Overlord's spirit form, but extended outwards a little bit more, and obviously more evil, and also more capable. And speaking of the spirit form, let's talk about that really quick. The Overlord's spirit form, or his dormant form, is the form that we first saw the Overlord take all those many years ago back during Season 2, and this is kind of like a weird imprisoned state. This is the form that the Overlord took when he was stranded on the Dark Island, a very dormant, very gaseous state that isn't really able to do much. However, once the Overlord manages to possess his vessel Garmadon, we get the Garmadon possession form, which is a very, very demonic looking form of the Overlord, kind of like a cross between the Overlord dragon and Garmadon's physical form. He has claws, teeth, and a huge amount of power that is very scary to see in action. Overall, this version of the Overlord is one of my favorite ones because it's just so unsettling looking. After the Overlord manages to escape to Ninjago, he starts the final battle by unlocking his dragon form, otherwise known as his final form or true form. The Overlord dragon is probably one of the most iconic Overlord designs out there. He's just so monstrous looking, super scary looking, and of course he also had a large part to play in the final battle against Golden Ninja Lloyd, a battle which he would ultimately lose. After the final battle, the Overlord was forced to go underground and adopt his digital virus form, otherwise known as the Overborg form if you want to call it that, and he used this to pull a lot of strings during Season 3's initial couple of episodes until he was able to actually obtain somewhat of a new body. And I gotta say, this version is also one of my favorite Overlord forms. We would also see the Overlord obtain the body of a Ninjroid at some point during Season 3 as a way to talk to Zane, and of course tell the ninja that there's nothing that they could do, you know, typical bad guy stuff. The ninja would ultimately fight the Overlord in the Digiverse, where he obtained yet another new form, this of course being some type of visual fusion of the Overlord's physical form mixed with his digital form, maybe? I'm not really sure what the Digiverse form is supposed to be, truth be told. Following the Overlord's failed attempt at becoming physical again, Pythor managed to conceal the Overlord in this weird kind of, I'm not really sure what this is. It's some type of weird, incomplete form, not really sure how to describe it, but Pythor was able to carry him around in his mouth. Somehow, you tell me how that works. Next up, we have the Proto-Golden Master. This, of course, was when the Overlord actually was able to complete his physical body, but a lot of the bells and whistles had yet to be added, therefore making him a purely black being with red eyes, but you can kind of see where it's going from here. The Overlord would eventually adopt his final form during Season 3, that of course being the Golden Master form. The Golden Master form is easily one of the most intimidating Overlord forms out there. It's big, it's scary, it's violent, it's powerful. Everything you want the Overlord to be, it is here. This was ultimately the form that he would take during the final battle of Season 3, where he would eventually fall to Zane during their climactic final battle. And the prophesized Golden Master form is easily one of my favorite Overlord forms as well. Taking a little bit of a break from the Ninjago TV series, before the Ninjago Crystallized season would reintroduce the Overlord, Ninjago Legacy actually gave us a couple of new designs for the Overlord, the first one being this one right here, which I will refer to as Legacy 1 Overlord, which is the first time that we are seeing the Overlord in Legacy form. I think for the most part he looks pretty cool. Very basic looking though, definitely not as unique as some other versions of the Overlord have been. I'm not really sure what this one was trying to replicate. To me, this kind of seems like a combination of a couple of different Overlord forms. However, the Ninjago Legacy 2 Overlord form is obviously supposed to be his Golden Master form, but updated for the modern day. I prefer the original one though this new Legacy Golden Master is definitely not bad either. It's just not as good as the original Golden Master form from Ninjago Season 3. And now talking about Ninjago Crystallized, the most recent season of Ninjago as of the time of recording this video, introduced quite a few new Overlord forms, the first of which being a new spirit design. Unlike the original spirit design that we saw during season 2, this one looks a little bit more like a parasite to me. It looks more deadly, more evil, so to speak. Rather than just being a huge cloud of gas, this actually looks somewhat intimidating. Like I said, it kind of looks like a parasite, maybe some type of virus, and I think that fits the Overlord really well. This was also the form that the Overlord would take when trying to talk to Harumi for the first time. Next up, we have the Overlord's incomplete Crystal King form, otherwise known as the Shadow Crystal King. And like the name suggests, this is very much the Overlord, but as a shadow version of the Crystal King, which would eventually be completed a little bit later, but for the time being, the Overlord was forced to adapt to the shadow form, not really able to do much but manipulate the people on the outside. And finally, when those people brought him the weapons of Spinjitzu, he was able to unlock his new Crystal King form, his first physical form in quite a few years. And I really like the Crystal King form. It doesn't really look like the Overlord at first glance, but I think that's what makes the Crystal King unique. It's made out of Vengestone as well, and with this form, the Overlord was finally ready to carry out his conquest yet again in order to take over the entirety of Ninjago. However, before the final battle of Crystallized was able to take him out, he adopted the final form of the Crystal King, which is a huge hulking centaur-like beast of a form, which has got to be one of the coolest Overlord forms as well. It's strong looking, it's very strange looking in the best way possible, and in a way it's kind of unpredictable. You're not really sure what this thing is going to be doing next. And of the Crystal King's final forms, I gotta say this one is probably one of the most unique ones out there. Probably not my favorite one, but it does get points for uniqueness, that's for sure. And of course, with that being said, guys, I believe we have gone through every single form of the Overlord that exists as of right now, as of 2022. Just for a quick recap, we have Ancient Form, Spirit 1, Garmadon Possession, the Dragon form, the Digital Virus, the weird Nindroid body thing, his Digiverse form, his incomplete Pythor Vomit form thing, whatever you want to call this one, the Proto Golden Master, the actual Golden Master, Legacy 1, Legacy 2, Spirit Design 2, the incomplete Crystal King, the Crystal King, and the Crystal King final form. I think it's no secret that the Overlord is definitely one of Ninjago's strongest bad guys out there, and one of Ninjago's most dangerous bad guys as well. Given the constant need for upgrades and the constant changing of the forms, I believe it also goes without saying that the Overlord is one of Ninjago's most important bad guys as well. Because you can't really destroy him, he's always going to be coming back in one way or another. Being a constant for the balance that's needed for Ninjago to function, his darkness, his presence needs to be there, and as such, I'm curious to see where he's going to be showing up next. And inevitably, the Overlord will probably have several different new forms whenever he returns next as well. But until then, we have this selection right here of 15 plus Overlord forms that exist so far, and hopefully I got all of them. Once again, feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know if I missed any. I think I got all of them, but there might be a small one that I missed here and there, like I said in the intro. And also, if you guys want to use the comment section down below to let me know what your favorite Overlord form is, that would be ideal as well. Like I said, any of the final forms of the Overlord I think are awesome, but I really enjoy some other designs too, such as the second Spirit form, and maybe even his Digital Virus form as well. The comment section is yours for any and all discussions you want to have regarding the Overlord's character and his many forms, and of course I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of it. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here, and I will talk to you guys again in the next video. Peace.